This time around, as well as in the past quarters, it seems that investors are realizing that the earnings estimates were a bit too low, so stock markets rallying again. But how comfortable should we be with this?
So there are a couple of things going on in the market. One is, as you say, the earnings have been good. They've been better than expected. Estimates had been cut because of concerns around the hurricanes and the impact on that in terms of disruptions to business performance. But companies have been very, very good. They've been very efficient. They've been very careful on their cost side as well, and you're beating numbers. The one thing we're not seeing is an upward tick in revision trends. So they may beat the numbers, but they're not picking up their fourth quarter. They're not picking up next year's numbers a whole lot from here. They're kind of being almost that cringeworthy, cautiously optimistic type of terminology is what we're seeing, and that is not, I wouldn't say disappointing. I think the companies haven't really done their budgets for 2018 yet, but it isn't kind of carrying through fully. So markets are up partially because of earnings. There was some discussion before about tax policy and what that could do to markets, small caps, for example, or high tax stocks versus low tax stocks. One of the things I'd be very careful, though, when the people think about high tax, low tax, utilities, for example, are generally domestic. They're high tax stocks, but if they get a tax cut, they're going to have to give it back to the consumers because that's in the rate base. They don't keep that benefit, and that kind of distorts some of these high tax, low tax baskets. Energy is another area that have high taxes, but it's usually overseas taxes, not domestic taxes, causing that that distinction. So I think investors have to be a little bit more careful on that front. And small caps also are very dollar sensitive. So when the dollar rallied late last year, early part of this year, and then kind of backed off, that's why the small cap stocks also started having some issues. So it's a lot more complex than just saying, hey, earnings or taxes or these kind of discussions. People really have to get down to the nitty gritty.